Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and before the start of this video, I want to say rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, as well as the other people who were affected in the helicopter crash that took 9 people's lives, including Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi. Now, I don't talk about basketball on this YouTube channel, I talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but this is a death that has infected the entire sports world, bar none. And the reason because of that was Kobe was such an influential person, not just a basketball player and an athlete, just a person in general. He passed away at the age of 41. He was just getting into his retirement years post NBA, and due to this insanely tragic accident, he's been taken from this world and from all of us, just not just as sports fans, but just as a human race in general. The world has lost an insanely influential person today. So with that being said, rest in peace Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and the other people who were affected in that helicopter crash earlier today. We are going to miss Kobe Bryant and their other people so much that I can't even put into words. I'm sure a lot of you can't even put into words either. He was so insanely influential, not just for this generation and post generations, but for future generations of athletes and just people in general as well. So guys, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Hug your loved ones a little bit extra tighter next time you see them, and I hope you guys all enjoy the video. Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about should the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade OJ Howard or Cameron Brate in this upcoming offseason. So guys, without further ado, let's talk about it. Now, there has been loads of trade speculation surrounding both of these tight ends the past couple of years. Now, Cameron Brate has certainly been on the trade block in Bucs fans' minds, at least for the past couple of off seasons now, but more recently OJ Howard has started trickling in to Bucs fans' minds of the idea of, hey, well, maybe trading OJ Howard wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Now, the former first-round draft pick, there were definitely some rumors surrounding OJ Howard come the trade deadline of this past season. I saw some rumors out there that, the Buccaneers had supposedly had a first-round draft pick locked down in a trade, but the trade fell through, and it seemed like a lot of Bucs fans were pretty okay with that. Now, not every Bucs fan was okay with that, mind you. I was still on the fence about it, and, certainly I have my own thoughts about, trade scenarios involving both these players, and we will get to that in a little bit. But, the point of this comment here is that there has certainly been trade speculation surrounding both of these players, Cameron Brate the past couple of seasons, and OJ Howard more recently. One of the reasons that OJ Howard has been in trade rumors as of recently this past season was because a lot of people felt that OJ Howard just simply wasn't a fit in Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich's offense. It seemed like he had lost, a step, a funk, whatever it is. OJ Howard had a weird year, and what a lot of people were saying was going to be OJ Howard's big breakout year. Him and Chris Godwin were going to be the breakout guys for this team. Chris Godwin, that one happened. OJ Howard, not so much. But I do want to point some stuff out to you guys in this video. So let's start talking about OJ Howard's 2018 stats. He had 48 total targets, 34 receptions, 565 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. Now, in 2019, you would figure that OJ Howard had significantly less targets, considering that Bruce Arians doesn't use tight ends necessarily, but you would be wrong. OJ Howard actually finished the 2019 season with more targets than the 2018 season. OJ Howard finished the 2019 season with 53 targets, 34 receptions, same as the last year, 2018, 459 yards, and only 1 touchdown. So the numbers are near identical. So why did OJ Howard struggle in 2019 versus 2018? Well, the big stat that could come up to support the claim that OJ Howard just simply struggled this past season was drops. OJ Howard had only 1 drop in the 2018 season, whereas in the 2019 season, he had 5 total drops throughout the year. That was not a good look at all, and I specifically remember multiple games where OJ Howard just had very, very, very frustrating drops, and we all mentioned it in the comments section and multiple week-to-week review videos. OJ Howard was just in a little bit of a funk this season. Whereas looking at Cameron Brate's numbers from the 2018 and 2019 seasons, again, very, very similar numbers to OJ Howard, but I do want to point out a distinct difference here. In 2018, Cameron Brate finished the year with 49 targets, only one more than OJ Howard, 30 receptions, only 4 less than OJ Howard, 289 yards, 6 touchdowns. And in 2019, Cameron Brate finished the year with 55 targets, only 2 more than OJ Howard, 36 receptions, only 2 more than OJ Howard, 311 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now, the big thing with Cameron Brate is he doesn't necessarily drop the ball as much. He had 3 drops in 2018 and 2 drops in 2019. The big difference I want to point out here is this. Now, you guys noticed that both the stats that I gave for both tight ends between 2018 and 2019 are extremely, extremely similar. It seems like both of these guys had the same amount of targets, the same amount of catches, but the big difference I see here at least is yardage. In terms of just overall raw potential ability as a receiving target and getting yards after the catch, it seems like OJ Howard is that guy. It seems like he is completely outclassed Cameron Brate in terms of reception to yard scenario and things along those lines. He beat Cameron Brate both of those years. However, you could make the argument of Cameron Brate being more of a red zone threat. Obviously, he had 10 touchdowns in 2 years compared to OJ Howard's 6 in 2 years, but you can always point to the 2019 season being more of an outlier and a struggle year for OJ Howard, at least in terms of the red zone ability, because in 2018, he still finished with 5 touchdowns. That was only 1 less than Cameron Brate in 2018 and 1 more than Cameron Brate in 2019. In fact, we can go even deeper into the stats. Now, in terms of Cameron Brate, he has had 2016 and 2017, he had over 500 total yards receiving, which was absolutely phenomenal for him as his career being an undrafted free agent. It was really, really awesome to see him overachieve like that. However, the second highest total he has ever gotten in his career so far with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, besides those 2 seasons, is a over 300-yard season in 2019. Besides that, he really has had little in the way of productivity at the tight end position. Now, OJ Howard, on the other hand, has never had a year so far up to this point where he has had less than 400 yards receiving, and he had over 500 yards in 2018, which I know isn't a lot. It's like, oh, great, big deal. OJ Howard should have 700 yards receiving, and he should, and I think he will get there eventually, but the point I'm still trying to make with all of this is that in terms of raw receiving potential and deep threat vertical ability, OJ Howard very, very clearly outclasses Cameron Brate. This is what I think keeps the argument of why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should keep OJ Howard over a guy like Cameron Brate. I mean, OJ Howard is still on his rookie contract, whereas right now as it stands, Cameron Brate's making $7 million per year. And I love Cameron Brate. Do not get me wrong. I absolutely love him to death. He is a phenomenal red zone target for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but OJ Howard could easily match that red zone production. He's done it before for this team, and he could easily do it again. I just think that the 2019 season was a little bit of a fluke season and a little bit of a struggle season for OJ Howard. But what's the trade value that you could get for these guys? Well, let's talk about Cameron Brate first. Now, I did a ton of researching into the most recent trades that involved tight ends around the NFL of Cameron Brate's caliber. And guys, the trade value for Cameron Brate wouldn't be that good in my opinion. A lot of the guys who have had similar scenarios to a guy like Cameron Brate have gone for no more than 5th round draft picks. The most recent example being Nick Vannett, who was traded, I believe, from the Seattle Seahawks or the Pittsburgh Steelers to one or the other for a 5th round draft pick. Now, there is another scenario that could happen. Most recently in the past, we've seen tight ends of Cameron Brate's caliber be traded for higher draft picks, a 4th round draft pick as a matter of fact. Now, in this scenario, you would not only have to trade away Cameron Brate, but you would probably have to package a 6th round draft pick with Cameron Brate as well. It's essentially a trade up, just throwing in Cameron Brate as part of a trade up deal. The New England Patriots have done this multiple times with other teams, which Could be a very interesting scenario for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they want to acquire a better draft pick, make a 6th round draft pick, a 4th round draft pick just by throwing Cameron Brate into the deal. Could be very interesting. There's a lot of teams who could have Cameron Brate be their, 16-game starter at tight end, and I think he would be an absolutely great starting tight end. But the Buccaneers, they could save the money. They'd save $7 million trading away a guy like Cameron Brate. I know they already all are in the top 3 right now in terms of salary cap for the NFL, but you could always use more money. They've got to re-sign a lot of valuable guys, so trading away a piece like Cameron Brate, who, yes, is a very, very good piece for this offense, he's not necessarily essential, and you could use it to get a higher draft pick. Whereas the case for OJ Howard, I have marked him as a 2nd round draft pick in terms of his trade value. And I know people are going to say, oh, but the rumors were out there that a 1st round draft pick could have been acquired for OJ Howard. And you know what? I don't believe those rumors necessarily. I don't know, I just don't believe that, essentially. Now, I know that OJ Howard is insanely talented, and maybe a team later in the 1st round would be willing to give up a 1st round draft pick for OJ Howard, but that's 3 years of tread that are on those tires right now, and you just don't see that. Usually with former 1st round draft picks, you're not going to get a 1st round draft pick back. Look at Josh Rosen. He's been traded multiple times now, and his price just keeps on going down, and he hasn't even played that much. So with a guy like OJ Howard, I don't think you're going to get a 1st round draft pick back for him, regardless of the circumstances. However, the one scenario where I could see a 1st round draft pick possibly being available is if the Buccaneers traded not only OJ Howard, but a 4th or a 3rd round draft pick as well, much like the Cameron Brate situation, but a much more valuable trade-up scenario. So what do I think is going to happen at the end of the day? Well, guys, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think a couple of things could happen. First things first, neither one of these guys could get traded. I know you're going to say, what, James? What are you talking about? Well, hear me out. The Buccaneers could just easily restructure Cameron Brate's contract. I mean, that's the only reason people want him traded anyways, simply because, he costs a lot of money right now, but the Buccaneers could just restructure his deal, save some cap space that way, and then, done and dusted. That's a good deal there. It is entirely possible to keep both of these guys. The Buccaneers, again, do have the 3rd highest cap space in the entire NFL right now. It's possible to keep both these guys. Both of them are very, very valuable to the team. However, if you had to have me pick one of them to be traded, I'm just going to go with the answer I've been saying the past couple of years now, Cameron Brate. And I know that hurts me to say it. I love Cameron Brate, but I'm going to say it again. OJ Howard just has more raw ability than Cameron Brate, flat out, I think that OJ Howard has the ability to work well in this Bruce Arians system. Bruce Arians' offense is notorious for being a difficult offensive system to learn. OJ Howard could have just had some growing pains this year, and I think once he gets going, he could be the 3rd option behind Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And I love Brashad Perriman, and I want the Buccaneers to bring him back, and I think they should, definitely will, possibly could. But I think that OJ Howard could be that 3rd receiving threat, get you 700 receiving yards in a season, 6, 7, maybe even 800 receiving yards in a season, who knows, and be one of the best tight ends in the league. And I love Cameron Brate, but I think his ceiling is just lower than OJ Howard. So, yeah, guys, there's my answer there. If I had to pick one of them, Cameron Brate, but I could also see a scenario where neither one of them gets traded. But, guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comment section below. What do you think about OJ Howard and his trade rumors? What do you think about Cameron Brate and his trade rumors? Which one of them, or neither of them, would you like to see be traded? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed, but until the next video or the next live stream, I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.